license that went out today does not violate Kim Davis's conscience. If it's satisfactory to the plaintiffs and the court, then I think we will have found that win-win solution that we had been asking for all along.
There is a growing anger in America over religion, Kim Davis, and religious freedom. However, it is not what some might expect. It's a growing movement by preachers, believers, and supporters who, while believing in the right to express one's self however they deem proper, using religion and the Bible as a hammer to inflict certain interpretations on others is not what the Bible expresses and does not absolutely help in any way any cause based in faith. Listen up. Our next guest is a popular columnist, tireless speaker on issues such as the intersection of religion and politics, a reformed Christian bully, and author of Femmevangelical, the modern girl's guide to the good news. Welcome the Reverend Jennifer Crumpton to the Hard Line. Jennifer, it's a pleasure to see you again, and we have to start out by asking the very simple question: what is a Christian bully?
Well, a Christian bully is somebody who tries to enforce their beliefs on other people. I was raised in an environment myself where I was taught that my interpretation of the Christian religion was the only right one, and that my responsibility as a Christian was to convert other people to my way of thinking. So I understand where Kim Davis is coming from. I do not condone it. I think she's absolutely 100% incorrect, but I understand this sort of warped sense of superiority that religion can often carry with it, unfortunately, and how that is really a person becomes inculcated in this sort of idea that they can tell other people how to live and what to do, and that it's their responsibility.
So what is it that turned you around to go away from being that Christian bully?
Well, a lot of time and maturation, a lot of study, and also really being exposed to other people of other belief sets and other religions and other cultures. I think it's so important sometimes when we live in such an insular little world, and especially people who are recent converts tend to be extremely zealous about whatever teachings they're given. So Kim Davis obviously was converted about 4.5 years ago, and she's clearly been sold a very twisted interpretation of Scripture in my mind as a Christian minister.
Let me stop you there if I can for a second, Jennifer, because I think you just hit on something. Sold a very twisted form of Scripture. So then does that lead you to believe, in your opinion then, that Kim Davis is a Christian bully, and it simply is the people behind her, whomever it is that has been teaching her, that have led her down this path to make her believe that hers is the only way and the only way that everybody else should follow?
Absolutely, Ed. I mean, I'm assuming that before 4 years ago, she wasn't like this. And, you know, she had a lot going on in her own life. But a lot of times when people convert and are given teachings, they suddenly feel like they have to tell everybody else that they're doing things wrong. And I think what's upsetting a lot of Christians, masses of us across the country right now, is that discrimination and bullying, especially of the most vulnerable and marginalized in our society, is actually the antithesis of following Jesus.
Is it not also hypocrisy, though, Jennifer? Is it not also the hypocrisy of this? Because the Bible states certain things, and many of these people are going against the actual word of the Bible in how they believe that it's everything is my way or the highway. It's hypocrisy, yes?
Absolutely, Ed. I completely agree. Hypocrisy has a lot to do with it, and that's one thing that Jesus talked a lot about. He really condemned the religious leaders of the time when he was living in first century Palestine under Roman occupation, which was a brutal force, and he criticized the religious and political leaders who were bullying the marginalized in society and not letting people enjoy the freedom and equality and wholeness and dignity that Jesus said God meant for all of humanity, no matter who they were. And of course, as we all know, Jesus hung out with all kinds of folks. And one thing I can say for sure is in the New Testament, Jesus never says anything about homosexuality. So it wasn't even something that he addressed. But when we start cherry picking from Scripture, we really start to lose the forest for the trees. We get really focused on things that men said thousands of years ago in their cultural context, and we lose that overall message of Jesus, which was love, equality, wholeness, giving a hand up to others in society who aren't the most powerful. So, you know, what I would really like to see the discourse be, especially as we enter into the 2016 election cycle and candidates are inevitably going to be asked about this, is the nuances of religious liberty. Religious liberty cannot be an egotistical or self-centered enterprise.
Unfortunately, Jennifer, I have to stop you there. We're out of time. But boy, did you hit on something that we have to come back and talk about very soon, because you are dead on in so many ways. And I know so many Christians who are unhappy with the way things are being taught and said right now. Again, the book, Femmevangelical, The Modern Girl's Guide to the Good News. Jennifer Crumpton, a pleasure. Thanks for joining us. We will talk to you soon, and the Hardline continues.